All right, everybody. So, welcome to Dead Men Streaming. Really quick, I wanted to answer the question of can you still solo the EN60 Guardian? I think it's EN60. The Guardian, the first raid boss after the September 2nd, 2025 patch using a Gatling plasma or an ultrasight minigun or other. The answer is yes, it is still soloable. It is not soloable as fast. I did notice a distinct time to kill drop. So let's take a quick look. I'm going to show you guys this as if I was starting from scratch. Here are my legendary perks: electric absorption, perception, charisma, strength, agility, and MI because I'm lazy. Moving on from that, here is my build: Armskeeper, lock and load, tightly wound, bullet storm, portable power, bringing the big guns, traveling pharmacy, number cruncher, butcher's bounty, tank killer, this is important, center masochist, which really needs to be named center sadist, a concentrated fire, ironclad, which is also important, through hiker, bullet shield, probably one of the most important parts of this build, starch jeans, suppressor, tenderizer, friendly fire, first aid, stabilized, demolition expert, science, pyrotechnician, batteries included, action boy, gunslinger, guerrilla expert, adrenaline, bloody mess, though I don't really need it anymore, and that's sad, one gun army, also important, ricochet, very important, class freak, important, junk shield, ultra important, and good with salt because I hate having my food go bad. Then, for my food buffs, and I am going to use a few, we're going to just chug these from the start. Boiled Scorched Beast Brain for the intelligence buff. I am running Carnivore Mutation. Company Tea, Cranberry Relish for bonus EXP, because if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get EXP from it. Deathclaw Steak for added strength. Deathclaw Egg Omelet for health regen. While we're not going to be caring about our crit damage, I'm drinking that just as a matter of habit. Fried Fog Crawler. Fog Crawler. I can't ever say these right half the time, I swear. All right, Mirelurk Jerky. Mutant Hound Chops. Really not going to matter for this one. Straight up on that one. Scrolling down, I'm going to eat some pemmican for the extra endurance, which means extra hit points. Scrolling still. Red Scorpion Fillet for energy resist. And smoked Mirelurk Fillet for a carry weight boost. And then because my carry weight's been weird lately, has nothing to do with the fact that I'm carrying everything. We're also going to pop a carry weight booster. Your mileage with these may vary. You may not want to tap into your stats. I'm just carrying a lot of crap. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. Now, for my effects, just so you guys can see, this is what I've currently got down here, so on and so on. So this psycho addiction, we'll talk about this in a second. It's important, which is why I'm leaving it on right now. Um, as you scroll down, now you can see all my food buffs all nice and stacked. So carnivore mutation, healing factor gives me health regen, but minus health effects, so it's a little bit hit and miss. I love marsupial for the extra carry weight and jump height. I can live without a point of intelligence. Speed demon is a big thing for me. Twisted muscles, another big thing for me. I really don't notice the effect of gun accuracy that much, but that was pre-patch, so maybe it matters now. But still, I get that melee damage and limb damage, and that limb damage matters. All right, fully hydrated though as well. Now, let's take a quick look at my armor that I'll be using for this particular thing. And I am using Troubleshooters Vulcan. We're just going to take a quick look at one of these. This is a torso. Using a full set, so I get the AP regen rate and the fusion core duration. Latter doesn't matter. The full set of Troubleshooters gives me minus 15% damage from robots on all pieces. So that's a sizable damage reduction against robots. Way I like it. So extra strength for carry weight and junk item weights reduced by 20%. And then the rest, this 4-star is just varied. For this one, I've got movement and sprint speed because I like being able to run for my life. Now, moving on from that, I've also got that on this one too. So you can just sort of see where this is going. Now this one's nice. Range damage is deal extra 5% bonus damage. So my damage numbers are going to be different than yours just in general. finally, let's take a look at the weapon that we'll be using for this once I find it. That's my cremator. All right. Furious, light 'em up prime. Gatling plasma. Using it with Furious on, so plus 5% damage per onslaught stacks, 9 stacks, 25% weapon speed, 50% durability. And finally, we're going to add stabilizers to that for an improved weapon recoil by 35%, stability by 20%. You can take a quick look at my other mods: prime receiver, rifle barrel, swift core receptacle, reflex sight, beam focuser, and light 'em up paint because I'm flashy. At least in the game. Usually in real life, I just wear all black. All right, two more things of note. I also have on me at this time in my junk 100 pieces of vault steel scrap, and this ties specifically, anytime, into junk shield to gain resistances based on my luck and the amount of junk held. 100 is the magic number over there. Now, as far as that Psycho Buff addiction, Psycho Buff lasts for 3 minutes on my screen, and I like knowing when it's time to reuse it, so I let the debuff tell me. So as soon as this thing pops up, we'll be spraying it. Now, I'm going to explain a few things as I'm doing this, so bear with me because I'm going to have to shoot and talk at the same time. First things first, I have noticed a weird lighting bug. On occasion, this room lights up like the inside of a Mercedes dealership and you can't see anything, and it is frustrating. So no offense to Mercedes dealerships, you guys make wonderful cars, I think. I don't know. They're too expensive for me. So let's get that Psycho going, and the timer on that starts now. The EN06 Guardian. All right, now, first thing to note that I'm doing, I'm spamming health packs. I am standing here tanking. I am firing every 10, 20 seconds, just a shot or two to keep Ricochet running. And I'll remind you what that does in just a second. But effectively, it gives you a percent to deflect for 20 seconds after firing a heavy gun. So I'm not sitting here counting down 20 seconds because I'm talking to you and I can't walk, chew gum at the same time. So I'm just randomly firing every few seconds just to keep that effect going. I'm mostly using regular stim packs, but I'm also using supers mixed in a little bit. Now, one thing that you notice I'm not doing, I am not trying to target the shield generated through him. That was nerfed. That is no longer possible. You can no longer shoot a body part that is behind a body. Kind of reasonable, I suppose. And you notice the damage numbers are kind of low now. Like, really low. This is starting off in the low 400s before it creeps up with Furious and Onslaught and Bullet Storm stacking up. Now, oh shoot, it's got to be A. Whew, just in time. A is always the hardest one for me to get to. We'll get a few bonus shots in before the shield comes back on. Now we're going to run back over to the button because that is the equidistant point between B and C. And that was too close for my comfort. Now, I did not get very many hits on him on that just because of that exchange. Because of A being where it was. Now, the thing to note with the new Bullet Storm is that while it does give you charges based on the ammo you're spending, you lose it if you switch weapons, and you lose half your stacks whenever you reload, which is really frustrating. So right now I've got 12 stacks, as that one looks like a bandolier on the bottom right. I'm reloading. I was at 13. And you'll see it drop down to 7 stacks. So that actually decreased my DPS. Now let's get aiming, targeting, spraying, pouring the firepower on this guy as quick as we possibly can. I want to note that I did test this with an Ultrasight 2mm Gauss minigun. While the damage numbers were higher, the time to kill was a lot slower. Pretty significantly slower, actually, between the two. So I will do a video on that later, but right now you're getting a video on this. All right, Psycho Buff, we're off because my addiction kicked on, so let's fix that and get back to dealing damage before its shield refreshes. Shield refreshed. Now we're going to run over, stand in front of C door, and we tank it down again. Now, the build I'm using is not a day one build. I'm sorry. If you are a low level player, hopefully I've given you something to aspire to. If you are a min max player, you are probably looking at my build and laughing at me, and I don't blame you for it. This is the same build that I use to farm daily ops, expeditions, and everything else. It gets the job done. The only difference between this and my usual daily build is the fact that I'm using a Gatling Plasma instead of my Holy Fire, and that I'm using my Vulcan Power Armor instead of my Union. That's it. Everything else about this build is the same. This build does not change for the EN06 versus, say, Scorched Beast Queen or running a daily op. Okay. Now, unless we get really lucky, the deflects are not likely to kill him, so we're going to have to sit out. But it looks like he's taking it out on his guns now. Looks like he's malfunctioned and short-circuited a little bit, so that is going to slow us down a little bit. But we can sneak around and target his shield generator while he's targeting his own cannons. If you want to. You don't have to. You can just wait for him to get over himself. And therein lies the rub. It's nice when when his guns short circuit and they start firing at him, like you can see the turret on the right. But it also means he's not attacking you, and if he's not attacking you, you can't reflect your shots back at him. So, oh, nice. All right. So that answers the question. Can you still do it? Yes. Am I built almost specifically to do it? Kinda. In terms of the power armor. But can you do it? Yes, you still can. You can still farm it for EXP. I just got 8,635 off of it. And a handful of stuff. Is it the best use of your time still? Probably. I can't think of anything else that gives you 9,000 EXP in under 10 minutes. Expeditions come close, though, so expeditions may be back to being the best if you are just sort of rolling with a tanky build. But with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it helped. Like, follow, subscribe, comments, let me know either way. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed.